Hi everyone, it's Brennan here. Hope you're all well. This is a Citizen vlog. City present, not a city past, a city present. Please, if you like these things, push the old subscribe button, push the bell notifications when you know when these vlogs are coming out. And if you like things about city's history, please join me on Brennan YouTube on the Citizen vlogs, which we do the past and the present. Anyway, this is Sunday the 24th of November, so it's a look back on yesterday's game, which I attended as usual in the South Stand versus Chelsea. There's no full match replay yet on City's website, a lovely, wonderful website that I've got working again now after a bit of trouble a couple of weeks ago. So I've watched the extended highlights, and obviously when you're at the game, you do miss certain things, and I've read up on what people are saying, etc., etc. So I've just put this little vlog together just to talk about yesterday's game. City 2, Chelsea 1, 54,486. There was a little bit of worry before the game that there'd be quite a lot of empty seats, because I think they were asking between £65 and £70 for some tickets. My cousin went, and I think he paid was it £72 for the game, something like that anyway. And so you're talking silly money, aren't you, for these? But obviously most of these tickets would have been sold quite a while back, because obviously they put all the games on sale quite early, apart from obviously they keep a few tickets back. So it was a good crowd, and there wasn't too many empty seats from what I could see. The Chelsea fans are okay. They seem to fill their allocation. So it's 54,486. The game itself, I mean, well, for the first time, that was the lowest possession that our Pep team's ever had in a game. It was 47% for City, 53% for Chelsea. So that's the lowest ever, which is quite unusual, isn't it? 15 shots for City, 4 on target. 11 shots for Chelsea, 2 on target. We had 8 corners to Chelsea's 3. It was quite nice. I think there was a couple of little routines on the corners for City as well. We didn't score from it, obviously, but there's we were quite unlucky on certainly one in the second half. I remember. Obviously, it was up the opposite end to where I stand, but a nice little routine. So it's nice because we do get a lot of corners. So we do waste them because we don't really do much with them, do we? So it is nice. I think we've got I believe a new specialist guy coming to look at things like that. So hopefully it'll pay dividends, because what's the point of having corners if we're not going to do anything from them? Chelsea only had 3 corners, so I was a bit worried about some of the height of the couple of guys they had, but obviously there was never any real problems in that. Right, as you know, I do a good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, well, I always start with the goals, don't we? For the good, there's not many other goods we get in the games at the moment. Obviously, a great goal by KDB. I know it took a deflection, and no, I don't think it was going in the net. I think Kepa had it pretty much covered, didn't he, when the shot came in? But actually to get in there and do it, he was doing a lot. Kevin De Bruyne was doing a lot of possession. He wasn't quite at his best. He had, for every one thing he did good, I think he probably did one thing a bit average or bad. So. But he did look a little bit lively. You could tell he was up for it, obviously, against his oldish club, wasn't it, Chelsea, obviously, with KDB. And we deserved the goal. We were struggling a bit, weren't we? Because we'd actually gone a goal behind, which is probably the bad. I'll start with that, perhaps, before I just go on to Kevin's goal. We're getting out-muscled, I think. A lot of our players, even Mendy's getting out-muscled. He's a big lad, and Mahrez was out-muscled quite early on, and I think Conte had a great chance to put Chelsea 1-0 up after we'd missed one. Kevin had missed one early doors as well. It's zoomed past the post, and Chelsea had one very similar where Mahrez just got lazy, just on the ball. He got caught, and he got out-muscled, and it ended up that they had a great chance. It just whizzed past the post. But in this one, their goal, again, Mendy was sort of out-muscled by their players. We do tend to get, against the physical teams. I mean, we're going to be playing Burnley soon. We're going to be playing Sheffield United. I mean, I'll talk about them more before the games, obviously. But, if we're getting out-muscled like this against younger lads, a younger team like Chelsea with their big lads, it doesn't bode well, does it? But anyway, that first goal, and also Ederson, I'm not sure. He probably should have stayed back a little bit, but Ederson's Ederson, and you'll come for it no matter what. So it was a disappointing goal to let in, and that obviously was part of the bad. But then we got the goal with KDB's goal. As I said, he made it. He beat a couple of players, cut in. Nice little, I think he worked with Mahrez, did he, before he scored the goal. And his left foot's not his favourite, is he? But he doesn't mind having a go, which is great for me. I like to see players having a go with the weaker foot. when they can. I think Phil Foden's a similar sort of player, isn't he? He'll have a go with both, even though he prefers one, obviously. So yeah, I mean, I think we just about perhaps didn't deserve it when we were 1-0 down, but yeah, I mean, I'll take that on the basis of the whole match, that we needed that little bit of luck to get going. And obviously, the second goal from Mara is absolutely superb. I mean, we had the bit of luck of it, but he had to jink in, beat players. I think he beat Emerson, didn't he? He jinked and it did go through someone's legs and past Kepa. Kepa was probably unsighted a little bit. I thought it was a bit at fault, but looking back, he didn't really have much he could have done, really. So that was a great goal by Mahrez. Again, another in and out game for Mahrez. It wasn't the greatest game, was it, for Mahrez? But that's what we want, isn't it? Sometimes we want, if we are playing bad, we do need these players to step up for us if we're not quite hitting the form. So yeah, that was the other bit of good. If we go on to the bad, I mean, the form itself is a bit iffy, isn't it? I mean, it's still iffy. I mean, I gave a 2-1 prediction to City on a couple of vlogs with other people, etc., that we'd win 2-1. And it really was the sort of game I expected. Chelsea do come out of the block quite well. They do look a lot better. And I think the first half, they probably just shaded it. But I think if it had been a draw at half time, there wouldn't have been anything wrong with that. But overall, obviously, they ran out a bit of steam in the second half, didn't they? But our form still, if our big players aren't really stepping up, we look a bit hodgepodge, don't we? I mean, Mendy and Cancelo on the two. I mean, I don't know. I mean, had they been asked to play I wanted Walker to play preferably to Cancelo. I'm not saying Cancelo didn't have a great game going forward, but I thought we'd need Walker's pace at the back. I thought we might get caught by Chelsea, and I think we did 2 or 3 times, especially in the first half. I would have preferred to see Walker there, who could use his pace to get back. But hey, obviously Pep knows what he's doing, doesn't he? So there you go. But I do feel as though a lot of players being asked to play in unusual positions, and I think that is affecting the form. And we're still not hit form, have we? I mean, we got through that yesterday, but we were far from convincing. And all credit to Chelsea, because they really had a go. I mean, if you talk about a form, look at Aguero, that miss that. When he got passed to it from Kepa, that on the stroke of half time. I mean, the old Aguero would have buried that into the bottom corner. This Aguero took a little bit longer, ended up trying to chip it and it in the bar. But I think the old Aguero would have put that in the bottom corner. It wouldn't have been a problem. He would have reacted and put it. And Aguero worked really hard. And obviously now we've got potential for another injury, which is very worrying. But Aguero does pick these injuries up. It's not unusual, is it? When has Aguero gone a full season without getting injured? It happens. We should have expected it, really. But again, Aguero's just as just what the rest of the team are. He's just not quite on form, and I think if he is injured, he probably will need this rest and actually come back stronger, hopefully. But we are seeing the last knockings of some of our players, aren't we? Unfortunately, David Silva was the same. He didn't look as potent that first half, obviously, as perhaps he should have done. So anyway, we got through, didn't we? I say we're not. We've got Shakhtar this week, so obviously hopefully we can start to improve again, but with some difficult away games, which we'll talk about in future episodes. It could be an interesting 6 to 8 games, the next 6 to 8 games, from telling us what our season is going to be like, really, which I think we'll know a lot more, obviously, by Christmas time. The ugly, I mean, you've got to talk VAR. We've got to talk that pathetic, absolute joke of VAR, and I would say that people were being cheated, to be honest with you. I mean, that's the 3rd time Sterling's been ruled out for an armpit offside. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. I have said before, once you start having to get the protractors out and the square rulers and all this sort of thing out to actually decide whether something's offside or not, it's absolutely ridiculous. As soon as you start having to draw dotted lines, sorry, it's no good. If you can't tell just by putting a line across the pitch, whether something is on or offside, then you should leave it with whatever's been decided on the pitch. I mean, the way the referee went over to talk to the linesman, I had a feeling that the linesman deliberately didn't put his flag up because he thought it may be, he wasn't quite sure, and he wanted it to be VAR. So this is a confusing thing, isn't it? Obviously we'd put his flag up and then obviously VAR a check. But I just got that impression the way the referee, we don't know, because we don't know. No one tells us, no one tells us what's going on. I mean, we know they're checking the goal. I mean, everyone was celebrating around me, and I was just looked at my lad and said, they're going to call it. Look, he's gone over now. There's a problem with the linesman. He's seen something. So if the linesman's a bit dubious, obviously VAR is probably going to. But anyway, VAR give it against us, which they do. It brings us on to pushes and things like that from other games, obviously with the VAR, and it's just an absolute. It's ruining football. I see it more and more on Twitter. People complaining, not just City fans, every fan. Obviously. People like Keith Hackett obviously just gets digs in every time about VAR and the officials doing VAR, etc. I mean, Keith Hackett does not like VAR. So, yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? I just think it's horrible. I mean, you see something, these pushes. I mean, what constitutes a push? A push in one game isn't for another game. Where were the dotted lines when Salah scored for Liverpool the other week? We didn't see any dotted lines, did we? Yeah. So it gives vent to gives strength to the fact there wasn't any VAR that game, but the speed it was done and the fact, it's just it all stinks. Absolutely all stinks, and it is a shame. I mean, we've obviously battling it. We thought VAR would help City this year, but it's having the opposite effect, obviously. Injuries, obviously part of the good, bad, and the ugly things. Obviously, Guerrero looks a bit more serious. I think Rodri was tired. I mean, he did work hard. Obviously, that first half, he was tired, and his socks were around his ankles. I thought he was doing a Tony Grealish impression at one point. And David, I think, had a cramped up. Obviously, I think Foden should be in there. I think Foden perhaps should have started. I think David needs like Pep said last year, he was going to play him sparingly. He didn't, and he was excellent last year. Obviously, we did need David, obviously, but this year he's not been the same, has he? The crowd was pretty good. Atmosphere was okay, quite good. The Chelsea fans are all right. The usual, we'll never win the European Cup rubbish, but obviously I got the song of you'll never win the treble going, with a little bit of effort, and I couldn't get me 100 points. You'll never get 100 points. You'll never sing that. I never got that going. And I forgot the Frankie Lampard song as well about who put the ball in Chelsea's net. I had that in my mind. I forgot to sing it, because it's Frankie Lampard from obviously a couple of years ago when Frank played for us. So that would have been quite funny, but I forgot all about that one. So I didn't have a chance of getting that going yesterday. But yeah, I mean, he come out with the old rubbish, don't they, the Chelsea fans? But no, they were all right. They weren't too bad for away support. One of the better ones so far this season. Player ratings, as you know, I always have a quick look at Stuart Brennan, seeing what Stuart Brennan's done on his player ratings and what I give the players as well for yesterday's match. So let's load this up for you. Start with Ederson, obviously. Here we go. Stuart Brennan, unlucky with the goal, but his work with his feet was very good, and he was solid behind everything else. So I give him a 6 out of 10. I mean, I give him a 6 as well. But that one in the second half that he hit against their forward near the end of the game, I mean, it could have gone anywhere, couldn't it? We were lucky that it bounced wide. But yeah, I mean, to me, a 6 score means they've done okay. So I give him a 6 as well. Cancelo, however you pronounce that, some decent attacking work, and he kept Pulisic relatively quiet, better defender than Walker perhaps, and he gave him a 7. I mean, I don't think so. I thought he's a bit iffy at times, Cancelo. I give him a 6. I wasn't, I'm not going down on him, but knocking him down. But I thought he was okay, but I didn't think he was great, and I certainly wouldn't have made that comment that Stuart Brennan made. Stuart Brennan for John Stones, some great passing from him, switching play effortlessly, but he still goes missing occasionally when there's serious defending to do. So he gave John Stones a 6. Yeah, I mean, I give him a 6. I thought he played okay yesterday. I mean, it's hard, isn't it? I mean, Fernandinho does sort of carry him, doesn't he? And what does he think about Fernandinho? Like Stones, happy and productive with the ball at his feet, but where was he when Kanté sailed through to score? 6 out of 10. Now, I give Fernandinho a 7 out of 10, and I think looking at Match of the Day last night, they quite agreed with me. I thought he played pretty well. I mean, he is playing. I mean, I would love to be honest with you, I almost wanted him to play in his normal defensive midfield and risk Otamendi there. I'm a mad, but there you go. That's what I almost wanted. But I thought Ferner played quite well, and I think a 6 from Stuart was a little bit mean, to be honest with you. Benjamin Mendy had Guardiola bouncing with exasperation at some of his erratic defending, but he tidied it up in the second half, and he's only given a 5 out of 10. I mean, I give Mendy 5.5 out of 10, so a little bit less than average. I mean, I wasn't impressed. He was quite deliberate with some of the things, but again, he's been asked to do things he's not used to, and obviously he's still coming back from his injury, and we've still got a worry there. But Mendy looks square peg in a round hole at the moment for me. Not really doing it. He's putting the effort in, so I might have squeals to a 6, but I'll give him a 5.5, but Stuart only give him a 5, so there you go. Rodri wrestled control in midfield from Kovacic and Jorginho, and his departure in the second half was a blow. Yeah, I mean, I was impressed with Willian and the older Chelsea players, especially Willian and Jorginho. I was quite impressed with. Rodri, I get again a 5.5. I mean, Stuart's given him a 7. I wasn't overly impressed at first. I thought it was okay, but he looked, and as we can see, he was tired. He looked tired from about 20-25 minutes, and he did look out of sorts to me. I only gave Rodri a 5.5. I mean, let me know in your comments what you think. If you put your ratings below or whatever. But Stuart gave him a 7, so he's generous with him, more generous than I have. But I'll stick to my 5.5. Kevin De Bruyne. Stuart said, not his most picturesque goal, but it was vital. And he was a sky blue tornado after that, driving City forward. He gave Kevin an 8 out of 10. I mean, I've given Kevin a 6, which is just bang average. Because, as I said, earlier, I mean, he scored the goal. He had a little bit of luck with the goal. And he did a lot of hard work. But for everything he did good, I just thought he just lacked something. Again, some wayward balls, etc. So, Stuart thought he had a brilliant game, and I think he really took this game by the scruff of the neck, but not necessarily in a positive way. He just showed total commitment, which is a bit more than some of the other players shown, unfortunately. But yeah, I give Kevin a steady 6. Stuart give him an 8. That's 7 out of 10. I've actually give David a 5.5 again. I thought he was very poor. I wasn't overly impressed. So Stuart's been really nice to him, and I'm being really cruel to him there. But again, I was sort of underwhelmed again. I loved David to bits, but again, I just looked as though he was again. He cramped up, didn't he? He just looked a bit out of it to me. Riyad Mahrez, Stuart had been quiet before his wonderful goal, but he presented a threat afterwards and nearly had a second. Yeah, I mean, Mahrez was okay. As I said, I give him a 6.5. Stuart's give him a 7. I mean, the goal, this is what we want. Sometimes if you're not playing well, it's nice to have players like who can score a goal and pull you out of it. And that's probably what Mahrez did. So one of my better players in City's team yesterday, but Stuart gave him a 7. I give him a 6.5. Aguero should have scored when he hit the bar, which let down some very good approach from him. Yeah, I mean, he did work hard, Sergio, but again, he did look a little bit leggy. We're looking leggy now, with the sort of games we've got coming up. I do worry a little bit, and as I say, we're having to cover for injuries, etc. It is a bit of a worry. I mean, I only give Aguero 5.5 again. I might give him a 6 this morning, but I give him 5.5. I'll stick with that. So I'm not in the greatest mood after what, to be honest with you. I watched the extended highlights. I didn't see any reason to change that score. Stuart gave him a 6. I give him a 5.5, mainly because, yes, he did work hard, but he could have done so much better with a couple of... And he usually plays well against Chelsea as well, doesn't he? So I was a bit disappointed. And the last player to play the full game, Raheem Sterling, one of his quietest games of the season, but he did a fine job of doubling up on Willian to restrict Chelsea in the second half. So yeah, Chelsea were out of sorts second half. I think but they do have a tendency to do that in the games I've watched Chelsea. Stuart's given him a 6 out of 10. I give Sterling 5. I'm sorry, I would have given him a 6 if that goal had counted, because he did everything right. He came back from an offside position. If you look at the play, and he actually came back and looked as though he just got himself back onside before he went again. But I'm only giving him a 5. I think that's a bit. I mean, I'm going to give him 5.5. I'm going to up that to 5.5. I think 5's a bit mean on Sterling, but he was absolutely impotent. Really, he didn't really do anything the first half. Obviously, I don't get a great view of the second half because they're attacking the opposite end to me, but I don't think he was, apart from the goal, which was disallowed. As I said, if the goal had stood, I would have probably given him 6.5. But no, I'll stick with 5.5. The subs, Gundogan, he give him a controlled 7 for controlling the game. Yeah, I mean, I give Gundogan 6.5. I was glad he wasn't playing from the start. I thought we need a little bit more pace in there. But when he did come on against a tiring Chelsea and a flagging Chelsea who weren't really creating much, he did look okay. And I think, but if he'd been on from the start, I think he would have been pulled apart. Phil Foden come on in the 67th minute. Gundogan was on from the 52nd minute, so he nearly did a full half, didn't he? Foden was on from the 67th minute. I give him a 6.5 because he looked bright. He had a couple of chances again where he took shots with the wrong foot, and that's not as good as he could have been. Stuart Brennan said he injected energy, so he give him a 7 and say I give Foden a 6.5. And Jesus was obviously not on the pitch long enough to really warrant a mark. So that's my scores on there. Before we finish with the game yesterday, obviously a fantastic programme, wasn't it? I mean, that's a great cover. You think that's the Kevin Cummins, the picture of the last day of the Kippax. There was even balloons at the top of the old Kippax, if you remember. Last day of the standing Kippax, anyway, not the new revitalised kit. So again, one of my favourite covers where it's not an artist drawing. You know I don't like these artist drawing covers, don't you, that we've had over time. And inside, got a little bit, say, the photos from Kevin Cummins, obviously for the 125-year anniversary. So some great pictures there from the last day. And that flag, I mean, the logistics of it didn't appear that often. It appeared once or twice over the years, but I think the logistics of getting that into the ground and getting it, so into the stadium was bad enough. So that's probably why we didn't see it. And he goes on to do some more things for the 125-year anniversary. So you've got obviously Malcolm Ellis in the dugout. Yeah. This is Kevin Cummins again, his gallery of stuff. And this is a great one. This, if you look at that one. Got Roger Palmer, obviously, and Eddie Larch, obviously featured, didn't he, at times? So good memories. Eddie's not seen Eddie for a while. I hope he's all right. I've seen his the other Hoppo, obviously, on a couple of things, but I've not seen Eddie. And there's a great thing as well if you get the programs. I don't think many people buy the programs now, but old games at Stamford Bridge over the years. From '86 there. There's Bert Troutman there. The Colin Bell years in the late '60s, early '70s. So some great things there. Colin Bell, look at that picture. Colin Bell at the old Stamford Bridge. Fantastic picture with the old red and black stripes. And of course, Frank Lampard. There we are. Frank, who put the ball in Chelsea's net. Frankie Lampard. There you go. I wish I'd remember that yesterday so we could have sung it. I'm just useless at let you all down badly. Anything else on Twitter? There's a lot of fallout, obviously, with this Gomez and Sterling thing. At Man City KD, when it was reported Gareth Southgate consoled a devastated Joe Gomez. At Man City KD noted, never console Sterling despite him facing years of racism. One game a Liverpool player gets booed, he's acting like his dad. So yeah, there's a lot of dislike out there for Gomez, and there's also a lot of dislike for the media as well. I mean, Ray at Man City _Ray. Interesting that the Star, this is a Daily Star, says don't boo our boys, yet they were one of the worst offenders when it came. And again, I just want to mention the Leslie Ross for Middles book, which is now out in softback, and it's softback. I don't think the hardback's out yet, but obviously a proportion of that money goes to Tackle for Manchester as well. So just at 111 Leslie 111, please get onto there, and if you want one of those great books, all the artwork in. Get on there and give Leslie Ross your support for that. And the last thing, I think, is there anything else? Oh, Raheem Sterling on Twitter. Obviously, that's the third time he's had one ruled out for. So obviously, Raheem Sterling on Twitter's commenting, and another one. So he's obviously taking it in good spirit. But I mean, he'll probably win the gold charts, won't he? And there you go. And there's another one as well. The last one I'm looking at. And it's from at Fletcher James _1. Just have a look on there. He's got it may have been removed for copyright now there, but when Liverpool scored their final goal against Firmino scored, Van Dijk actually pushed one of their players who fell over. But obviously, nothing was done or said or even done about it. So it does warrant itself with those conspiracy theories, doesn't it? I mean, because that's a clear push by Van Dijk, and yet the goal stands. So we don't know where to go, really, do we, with that? Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for listening for that. Obviously, we've got Shakhtar next on Tuesday. I actually did a little preview of this on one of my other vlogs. If you go back and have a look at the last City present, I did a little review of Shakhtar. And I'm doing these more smaller reviews now after every match, and, with a little preview of the next game. So a little bit of change in format anyway on this. So thanks for watching this. Please push the old subscribe button, push the bell notifications, and please look back at on Brennan YouTube for all the City history ones, all the City past. It's under City past. So I just recently looked at December 1993, which has got a lot of hits and views at the moment. So that's gone down really well. So that came out 2 or 3 days ago. So please have a look at that and relive memories of Brian Horton, Francis Lee, Mike McDonald, Peter Swales, everything. and on the pitch. We even won 1 or 2 games. So there you go. December 1993. Have a look at that. That's on the Citizen Past vlogs. Thanks for watching. Anyway, whatever you're doing with the rest of your day, had a great one. Oh, and my thanks to Ray. Obviously, this is also shown on City Fan TV. My thanks to Ray for that. Anyway, all the best. Whatever you're doing the rest of the day, have a great one. I'll be back after the Shakhtar Donetsk game, so we're back on Wednesday with a review of that, and look forward to our Newcastle game at the St James. Let's hope for a better result than last year on that one. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Look after yourself, look after your friends, and look after your family. Bye-bye.